This video is about the useRouter hook. And if you remember, the last video was about the link component. Now the useRouter hook is going to perform almost everything that is possible via link, but in the programmatically way. So there might be some cases that you cannot use link, but you want all the links functionalities, such as navigating to another page. Of course, you can perform the redirection via windows.location, but this way you will lose the soft navigation and you will reload the entire application on each navigation. But with useRouter, you can have almost everything that link component offers. So let's try. I can simply, instead of having these links, just remove them, just change them with a button. I know it is not a good choice, but let's imagine, just for the sake of the demo. Imagine I have button instead of link, and by clicking this button, I'm going to redirect the users to the home page. So in this case, I can add on the onClick event, and then I can use the useRouter. I import it, and then I can call the push function from this hook. So let's do it. Our homepage URL is just simple slash, and it's going to work. And it's complaining because we are calling this hook, which is a general rule about the hooks in React. We should not call them inside other callbacks or events. We can hoist it up somewhere at the root level of the component. Then I get an instance of this hook. Now I can use this object and call its methods like push. Now it should work fine. Let's try. And as you can see, it's giving me an error, and that's because of this hook is imported from a wrong place. It is a legacy code, not exactly legacy, but the old version of useRouter. Now they have moved it to navigation. So I can simply say useRouter from Next.js/navigation. Now this hook works fine, and we don't have this error anymore. Now if I click the home page, you can see, since we are in the home page, nothing happens. But let's go to shop, and I click on home again. And as you can see, it's directly redirecting me to the home page without any extra page loading, just a soft navigation. Let's try it again. And this time you can also consider to take a look in the basket indicator, and if you see some loading during the navigation, it means that we are hard navigating. But as you can see, nothing happens here. And also if I go to home, the same situation. It's a total soft navigation, which is the recommended and what we want. So that was it from the push function. And also we have some other methods and also overloads for this one. So for push, if you remember, on the link we had this scroll, and also actually I have it here. If you remember, the scroll says that when we try to navigate to a page, we don't want to jump to the top of the page. In this case, I'm going to navigate to shop page, but I don't want to jump to the top. So I'm on the home, I scroll down, I click the shop, and it retains the scroll. See, I'm in the middle of the page. The same situation here, we can pass it as the second parameter to the push function. And if I take a look, I opened all the properties that are possible, and the only thing that is possible is the scroll. So I can set the scroll false. It means I don't want to scroll to the top of the page whenever I click on this button. So now I'm on the shop. I go down, I click on the home, and it retains the scroll. It does not jump to the top. But if I set it to true, let's try it again. I scroll down, I click on the home, and it takes me to the top of the page. So that was it from the push method. The next method that we are going to cover is router.replace, and this is exactly the same that we have here. Replace the true, so you can navigate the users to a specific URL like homepage, and then as a second parameter we can say the same scroll we can have. But the difference between here and push, between replace and push, is that this method is not going to push anything to the browser's history stack. So let's try. I can skip or set it, doesn't matter, the scroll, the second parameter. But okay, now I try to go to shop, and the last item in the browser should be the shopping. Actually, I have to get rid of these two because I want to push this navigation to the browser's history, but not for the homepage. So let's try. I go to career, then shop, and then maybe career again. So the last item in the browser should be, let me zoom, shopping, because before career I was in the shopping. Now I click on the home page, and as you can see here, we said that we want to replace the current URL with the home page. We don't want to push anything to the home. So if I click to this home, I'm expecting to the last item not be career, but the shop, because we are not putting anything new to the home, to the history. Let's try. Now I'm on the home. Let's try it. You can see that it retains the last stack that we had. So that was it from the replace. The next method of this router is prefetch. And if you remember, we could have this prefetch on the links by simply setting this to true or false. And if we set it to true in production, whenever this link becomes visible in the browser's viewport, it tries to fetch this page in the background, this internal page, of course, in the background. So as soon as I click on this, it immediately takes me to that page. But to have this behavior programmatically, we can just simply say, whenever I click on the home page, I want, for instance, to prefetch a particular page. Maybe I want to load this page, shop cart. And this is that simple. It will work and prefetch it for you under the hood. And we can try it as well. Let's try. But to try it, we have to go to production, of course. Let me try to run the build, npm run build, npm run start to run the build version of the project. Now we're good. And then I inspect in the network. As soon as I click on the home page, I'm expecting a prefetch, an XHR happen. Let's try. And as you can see, this XHR just tries to load the cart page, which is defined here. So this page is ready, it's prefetched. And if I try to navigate through to this page, maybe I have another link which is not prefetched but pointing to this page. And as soon as I click on that page, it immediately takes me to that URL. We can also try it. Why not? So I add another link to shop/cart, and then I call it cart. I have to build the project again. But before building, let me remove this link, because we already have this link with prefetch. I don't want this one to load it what I'm trying to load manually. So I go and remove this from the home page, and then I'm going to build npm run build. Something's wrong. Let me see. It's not building because there's an linter error. Okay, I have to fix it. And here I have to remove. Okay, let's build again. Now we are good. Now npm run start. So I refresh. What I'm trying to do, this home page is going to prefetch the cart page. It's not going to do anything else. So as soon as I click on this, nothing happens. And the reason is that the cart is already prefetched. And that's because the prefetch by default is null here. Prefetch nulls means that still is going to load them in the background. And to prove that, if I refresh, you can see that server component is loaded already. And if I hit the cart, you can see nothing happens. In the network tab, it means that it's already downloaded. And to fix that, what I can do is just explicitly say I don't want prefetch for cart page, for cart. So set it to true, to false. And let's build it again. Npm run build, npm run start. Now I refresh. I should not see any cart. Yes, I don't see it. Now if I hit the home, now I'm downloading the cart page in the background. So the cart is loaded already, and as soon as I click the cart, it takes me to the cart immediately, because it's prefetched manually here by this method. And I hope you get the idea of prefetch. And so far, everything that we had was possible via link as well. So we could have all of these functionalities in the cart component, but in the link component, but there are some cases, of course, yeah, you want to do it manually. And the next method I'm going to explain is router.back and forward. And they are simply back and forward in the browser. I think it's not necessary to go through, but I can simply go with the back button to make sure that how it's working as expected. I run the project again, npm run dev. Now it's ready. The latest version page was home, so if I click on this one, it takes me to the home because it acts exactly as a back button with router.back and router.forward acts like the forward button. If I press the forward, I'm expecting to go to the cart page. Let's try, because the last page that we left was cart and I just forwarded. And that was it. I hope you get the idea about a router and useRouter that comes from the navigation module of the Next.js. And the idea of this was to manually and programmatically navigate the users in the browser at the client side via code. So see you in the next one.